What's up, good people? Welcome back to the StockXchange Network. Man, I just want to thank everybody for all of the messages, all of the inboxes, the DMs that are just encouraging me to continue to do what I'm doing, thanking me, letting me know that the information that I'm sharing and the things that I'm talking about resonates with you and something that's beneficial, is something that the world needs. So once again, that's just me. Just thank you. I appreciate you for everything. Today, man, I want to dive into this whole topic of being faithful.
Something has to change. TV and social media has way too many of us detained. Not just from our friends and family, but from ourselves we're estranged. So now it's time for me to start my campaign. It's no votes needed, I'm not conceited. The people have proclaimed. Here comes your guaranteed return from the stock exchange, from the stock exchange, from the stock exchange, from the stock exchange, from the stock exchange.
Today, man, I want to dive into this whole topic of being faithful, men being faithful. And at the end of the day, this is not an excuse for us. This is just bringing awareness so that we can start to work on building and understanding how we can change the dynamics. But for guys, man, being faithful is abnormal. From the way that we're brought up, from the time that we are little jits, man, all of our old heads, all of the people around us, they encourage us to be, have as many women as we can have. They encourage us to, man, take your time. There's plenty of time in life for you to settle down. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? Go out here and learn how to talk to people. Learn how to bag whoever comes along. You don't have to settle down. You don't have to be with one person. You know, in the locker room, we think about locker room talk. I played sports my whole life, and I started young. You know, from the time that I was playing 7th and 8th grade football, it's guys in the locker room. We talking about the young girls who are cute, the ones who we would like to talk to, the ones who might be a little faster than the others. And you start to hear people talking. We actually get praised when we lose our virginity. I'm talking about dapping up, fist bumps, chest bumps, all of that. As soon as we find out that somebody has lost their virginity, you get celebrated. And then once you start to learn yourself and understand, you get a few under your belt. Oh, you the man now. They like, yo, you mess with her too? Like, it's something that is praised. It's something that is encouraged. And don't allow yourself to get a hold of a young lady who is considered top quality, who's considered beautiful, who's considered the cream of the crop, the one that everybody else in the school wants. That's when you really get praised. Oh man, you talk to her, you getting down with her. That's what it's about. And at the end of the day, the guys who are trying to fall back and do things the right way, they start getting clowned. Like you'll get clowned for being a virgin, for real. Like that's something that's frowned upon. So at the end of the day, all the way through, we are being encouraged, we're being uplifted, we're being told that we are the coolest, we that dude, like whatever it is, wherever you're from, however they say it, like that's what you get. At the end of the day, it's straight up praise. And as you continue to go, you just continue to elevate. You don't learn, you don't hear any of the older guys talking about the benefits of being faithful or even the benefits of marriage. You see the struggles when you hear the old guys talking. They telling you about their glory days. They talking about what they used to do and how they get down. Oh, young man, you remind me of myself when I was coming up. I had them young Jones following and running behind me the same way. Keep it up. Once again, more encouragement. I can honestly say it probably wasn't until the age of 30 that I actually heard a man sit down with me and tell me like the benefits of being married, the benefits of being faithful and holding on to your vows and making sure that you're doing right by that woman. Now, luckily, I had a different setup. Like I was wilding out from the time that I lost my virginity at 11 years old. And by the time I turned like 23, 24, I was already starting to feel bad with some of my ways, the lifestyle I was living, some of the things that I was doing. I actually was being a student. I was actually paying attention to myself. I was looking at the different females that I had affected negatively. I got to a point where I wasn't even in relationships just so that I could supposedly have fun without any attachments. But I started to learn that regardless if you were presenting as a good individual, if you were giving insight, if you were a nurturer, you were an encourager, uplifting, you had charisma, you could make them laugh, at the end of the day, they're still looking for that to change, looking for you to change. And we can sit back all we want and say, oh, that's their fault. Like, nah, we have to take that responsibility. We have an innate power, an innate gift that allows us to connect with females. It's just a given. And even though we say we're not looking for anything serious, as long as we're presenting or looking like it, like essentially we gotta just be straight buttholes and be disrespectful. And at the end of the day, that's not healthy for us to do because we're not representing the person that we are. But like I said, once we get to, I'm gonna move to like the college level or right after college. And that's when you finally get into a relationship that you deem serious, that you actually wanna try to do right by. At this point, I use the analogy. You have a guy who's an athlete, a baseball player who's trained on baseball their entire lives. They've gone to baseball camps. They've gone in their backyard with their friends, throwing, hitting, going to batting cages. They've gone to different big colleges, all these different workshops, workouts, all for baseball. And then they are so good, they go to draft day. But on draft day, they get drafted to play in the NFL. Your whole life you've been training for baseball, but now all of a sudden I gotta go and play in the NFL? I'm not prepared for this. I've never trained for this. That's the same thing that happens to men. We've been trained our entire lives to be dogs, to be, just be free, have fun. We don't even look, at least females, they start to get a negative outlook, where at one point they did, but it was negative for them to sleep around. You would be considered loose, considered a hoe. Let's keep it real. If you was to live the lifestyle that men live. But at the end of the day, we get praised for it. And we even find out that girls are attracted to the guy who is more developed, who's more in tune, who has more experience than the next guy. So that's even more confusion. So we're out here, we're lost. When we step into this new realm, we feel inferior. We see other people like, man, we're actually looking for something to mess up. We're looking for the relationship to fail. We're looking for you to do something to just give us a little ounce of inkling to say, you know what, forget that. I'm gonna go out here and mess with this person. We got our homeboys wanting to go to the club still, wanting to go out and chill, kick it like, yo, shorty, I got some Jones coming through to the crib. What? Man, I know I got a girl, but it's whatever, man. Do your thing. She ain't gonna know. People encourage you to do the wrong things. So at the end of the day, learning how to be faithful is something that we have to seek for ourselves. We have to gain understanding of the importance of being faithful. Being faithful isn't just a singular situation as in being faithful to the woman or the man that you're with. Man, for us, we gotta be faithful to ourselves. We have to be faithful to our offspring. We have to be faithful to the women who come to talk to us, to try to interact with us, and ultimately want us to talk to them, but yet us turning them down. That's something that we have to do. We have to show them that there are faithful men who exist. We have to look at all of the different dynamics that have happened. I don't know if you all have ever sat down and had a conversation with an individual who grew up in a household with divorced parents. I remember vividly one of my closest homies, his mother cheated on his dad, and when he found out about it in high school, and he was like, "Yo, how am I ever gonna trust a woman, bruh? How am I gonna ever settle down? My mom's cheated on my dad, bruh." So that junk would mess up your psyche. It will leave post-traumatic stress. Like when you think about that, think about how many kids are born out of wedlock. I know I have one. My child is not with my wife. And I know that having the strain of having to go from one household to another, yeah, kids are resilient and they're able to go through it. But imagine if they didn't have to deal with that. Imagine if they could grow up in the household with two healthy parents where they can learn from one and learn from the other. They can see a visual of a healthy relationship. They can see healthy visual of parents communicating and processing and evolving and growing as one, a sense of true love. All of those things have to come into play and come into our minds when understanding the importance of being faithful. Now I'm gonna cut it off. We can go even deeper into it, and I want to, but I don't want to hold everybody too long, man. But it is very, very, very important for us to learn what it means to be faithful, to learn the importance of it, how detrimental it is when we're not. You know, we have to learn how to be respectful to one another, and as men, we learn how to control ourselves. We learn how to have better self-control. We learn how to better implement what we know and what we want from women in a different facet. See, like, it's a way to change your outlook. It's a way to still get that satisfaction of communicating, talking, and interacting with a woman without like going the whole distance. One of my favorite quotes that I have is, you can put something in a woman without putting something in a woman. And we're gonna dive deep. I'm gonna leave y'all with that quote, man. I just wanna appreciate y'all. Thanks again. I ask y'all to follow, to subscribe, leave comments, suggestions, anything that can benefit me or you, leave in the comment section, man. There's nothing but peace, love, and happiness with me as always. Stock Exchange. Until the next one.